Let's see what else they got here. Percents of numbers and money. It is the world we live in, and having a good sense of percentages and how to work with them, whether it's estimation or not, it's really handy. Really, really handy. You're just enabling yourself to not be fooled and just can think for yourself. It's really good. 100% of 40,000. Well, let's just lay it out here in case you missed it. 100% is it's still a fraction. 100 over always 100, which means this is 1. And if I say fraction or fraction or portion of a quantity or a number, quantity, that of word is always going to be the multiplication calculation. So 1 times 40,000, what could that be? So tricky. It's just 40,000. 70% of 90, very, very handy to associate that of with multiplication. Now that's when we talk about fractions and proportions and percentages, not necessarily always. Our language is a little bit tricky sometimes, but it's a very nice association to make. And then you can decide, okay, how do I want to see this? I can simplify the fraction. I can go to a decimal. It doesn't matter which version I want to do. Let's mix it up and go, let's go with this one for today, or for this example. Let's go with this one. Bring in some decimals as well, because sometimes the numbers are maybe less convenient here, and the decimals are handy. So let's do that instead. So now, what am I doing here? Well, first of all, let's make that pink. I don't really care about that 0 too much, right? So I'm going to do 0.7 times 90. That requires that I do 7 times 90, which is going to be 7 times 9 and attach a 0 at the end. So that's easy enough. And then, because I had a decimal number here with 1 decimal place, I need to adjust my answer by 1 decimal place as well, moving it in to 63.0 in this case, or just 63. So 70% of 90 is 63, going through decimals this time. Let's see if they agree. I am sure they would.
Welcome to MathCats, where we aim to better understand mathematics. Join us weekly for discussions on elementary, high school, through to university math. You can request the next topic by leaving a comment on our YouTube channel or by emailing us at mathcats314@gmail.com. And as always, remember to like and subscribe. Thank you.
Fill in the missing number or just calculate. 180% of 38. So now I can view that 180 again, or 180% as 180 over 100. I can view it as a simplified fraction, which I'll scribble over here, which will be 18 over 10. I can go further, dividing both by 2 to get a 9 over 5. That's an option. Or I can go decimal, looking at this fraction, which will be 1.8. 1.80, don't have to write that. Of, when it comes to proportions and fractions, is a multiplication. So now I can choose. Okay, well, which one is the most convenient for me? Well, the 38 is not a great number, If it was a multiple of 5, I could argue that this fraction would simplify nicely. It's not a multiple of 5, so that's not the best. I could still go this way. Maybe we should do both. Maybe we should do both. That might be worth it to spend more time on one question and get the most out of it. Which way shall we go? Let's go this way for the bottom one, and I'll go that way for the top one. Let's do the fraction first. Let's go with the fraction. What is a way I could look at this? Yes, I could go 9 times 38, then divide by 5. I could. Yeah, let's just do that. 9 times 38. Let's show enough detail in case some people need it. Let's go old school. 9 times 8 is 72. 9 times 3 is 27. Relative to that column, of course, it's 270. And so I get 2, 14, and a 3. So 342. But that's only the top, because this is 38 over 1, right? So if I do this, I'll get 9 times 38 over 5 times 1. So I still have to do the 342 over 5, which is just division. Just giving you an option, of course. If you are more solid and comfortable with your mental calculations, you don't have to write all this down. But not everyone is, so I'll just do it in a way we can track it more easily. 5 goes into 34 6 times. 6 times 5 is 30. Of course, this is a much bigger one, unless I missed something. I don't think I missed anything. It's just that annoying. Wow. Just check myself. Based on other questions we've seen, maybe it's all supposed to be super simple, but we'll go through variations. I think it's good to see what different options do I have here. It's good. One option is fraction simplified, which makes these calculations easier, arguably, unless I could somehow manipulate or take advantage of 38 and its factors. I can't really. Okay, carrying on. 6 times 5 is 30, which is really 300. Take that away, I get 42 left. 5 goes into 42 8 times. 8 times 5 is 40. Take that away, I have a 2. Now we can do remainder 2 here, or we can write it as 68 2/5, or we can write it as a decimal. I don't really know what they want. We can write 68.4 because 2/5 is a familiar fraction, which I kind of just memorize. So this version over here, I get 68.4. It's worth seeing the other side. Decimals are quite convenient. Nothing wrong with fractions. Maybe you love fractions. Maybe you want fractions all the time. You can't get enough. Great. But let's see the decimals here. Now, one option, I want to think about how I can manipulate or take advantage of the numbers involved. If this, for example, was a 35, I could take advantage of it being a multiple of 5 and simplify the stuff on the left. Could have been a great option then, but 38 was not that great. So I go decimal. Option 1 is to just blindly do it, and that would of course require 18 times 38 and then adjust my answer with a decimal, this one decimal place. Could do that, but 18 times 38 is arguably not the simplest multiplication ever, right? So I'm going to leave that one to you, because I can make this a little bit more efficient and say 1.8 times 38 means 1 times 38 and another 0.8 times 38. 1 and a 0.8 together times 38. Or you can think of it more mathematically as 1 plus 0.8 times 38, and then the distributive property gives me this. The point is that, well, this part is super easy. It's just 38. So all I really need to do is this, which is a simpler calculation because I just have a one-digit 8 times 38. Now we could do that. Where should I write this? Let's write it in a different color to demonstrate I'm just sort of thinking about this. We could try a mental calculation. I'll erase this, which is sort of how I'm thinking. I'm going to do 8 times 38 and then adjust it. 8 times 38, mentally I'll do the tens first. That's 240, 8 times 30. And 8 times 8 is 64 for a 304. 304 then needs a little adjustment because I had one decimal place there. I need to move that in. So I will get 30.4. And then when I put these together, that's a fairly simple addition, 68.4. But look how much there is that we could learn and practice. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Yes, once we get to high school, then we can just use a calculator and everything is super simple. But we'll miss out if we don't take some time and really look at these numbers, look at the calculations, build the number sense, make it nice and solid, because the calculator can't think for me. And when I put word problems on top of these calculations, then a number sense can really take me far if I understand what percentages mean, percentage of a number, what's the calculations involved, what options do I have. Just enable yourself and think for yourself. Of course, these two are the same, right? These two are the same. So much we can learn. It's so good. Oh, so good. But assuming you want closure, let's put in our 68.4. I don't really want to press enter too early here because then the question changes. I want to look at this. It's so good. I'm so proud of myself. It's good. Good. Good work indeed. Yes. And then I'll leave that to you. You can do that as you feel the need. That was really good. I really like that. There's so much we can learn and develop in these questions by exploring them a little further than what the question just wants. Seeing options, trying the different options and seeing which one you don't really know until you see it played out. And then down the line for the next question, you can take that experience and be more efficient in your next calculation.